The Good Boy.
Yeah.
What was it about that story and project that initially drew you?
Well, my good friend Brian Goodhart, who's a co-producer on the film, and he's the head remixing engineer and sound engineer, he brought me on early to just throw my hat in the ring for the project. He said, I've got a great friend, Ben Landberg, the director. He's producing this really unique horror film. I think it's something special. So he said, do you want to put your hat in the ring? Sure. Then I promptly forgot about it because I was doing other work and things, and they were still working through a lot of the principal photography at that time. 5 months later, found out between me and another composer for sort of this final look. Ben sent me the rough cut of the film, and I watched it 3 times in one day. I was so obsessed already, Matt. I was just like, oh my God. One of the first shots that I saw was in the rough cut. It was that first initial shot in the rain of following Indy up to the house. And that, it hit me like a thunder strike or something like that. Like, this is different. There's something unique about this. The camera angles that we're using, the fact that it's shot from a dog's perspective, it puts you in a different kind of place of like innocence and a little lack of control that people already feel in horror, right? But I just felt so aligned with Ben's vision right away, and I was so attracted to the idea of working on a film that was no human faces, just about the dog. It was really, really unique.
And you have one tool that's not in your toolbox, dialogue, really.
Yeah.
What's the challenge of the kind of, is that something of horror too? You got to create a horror, but you also have to establish a dog character and evolve it. What was the process kind of like doing that, developing your score for a dog that's going through an arc?
That's a great question, Matt. I think so much was informed by the Foley work that was being done in post as well. We had to build all of the sound in post. Like 99.9% of it is totally in post because none of the production audio of them like squeaking a toy or trying to get Indy to look at the camera, you can't use that in a horror film anyway. So a lot of it was around trying to see what is this dog's journey, where are his sort of lows and highs of the journey, what are the things that are pushing him into places of anxiety or of triumph. And so creating the sound palette around that idea and around this is a dog's perspective, though, we need to maybe do things with the sound where it's really high above where humans might hear or really low to affect a sound that it's like the dog's hearing it,
Now, the other thing is you also have an owner that's descending into literal hell. Like, you have an arc for that. How do you develop the human element of it? Because his character is descending. Well, the dog's getting stronger in a lot of ways. He's getting weaker.
Yeah, that's an excellent question again, Matt. So Ben played the physical version of that character, and you're watching the opposite of what our usual relationship with a dog is, right? They're with us for such a short period of time, and unfortunately, we tend to be the ones that lose them and mourn them. And so this is very much the opposite of that. We're watching it through the dog's eyes, and we're watching the demise of his owner, and so that's it. It's a very intimate and sad at times, tragic story that ends up with, like you said, a descent into the basement and possibly hell, and maybe various interpretations on what it all could mean for his disease or what he was going through. Maybe it's some supernatural thing, or is it just a natural phenomenon that the dog is interpreting as a supernatural thing?
All right, we have composers, students that watch in the audience. Is there one scene that was most challenging? A moment that, like, boy, it took us a long time to get right, but we're proud of it, but something that really it could be even a smaller scene, too.
I didn't struggle as much in this project as maybe some things in the past. Every problem that I found felt like there was a potential solution that was just waiting outside the wings for me. I think something that we're really proud of is there's 6 dreams that take place that are all Indy's dreams, and there's an arc to those 6 dreams. And we wanted a specific instrument, and we tried a few different things to try and tie all 6 of those together. We couldn't find the right sound palette. And then one day, the algorithm on YouTube fed me this video of a Canadian luthier named Fran Riley playing his new instrument, which is this spinning zither. It was a 10-string spinning zither that he was playing, and the sound hit me like a lightning bolt or something like that. And I stood there transfixed, and I said to myself, this is the sound that I'm looking for. So then I spent the next 6 weeks building that instrument from scratch, just based on looking at it and listening to it and knowing what I know about the cello, because that's my principal instrument. And then I built it with my dad. He did all the metalwork and welding and helped me with some of the design phases, and I did all the woodwork, and we built it together, and it was a really enjoyable experience. I told Ben, the director, hey, I'm working on this instrument. I think that you're gonna fall in love with it. And he went with me on a vote of trust, and as soon as I sent him a sample of the sound, he's locked in. That was it. And sorry if I just peeked your microphone, but it totally sealed all 6 of those dreams together as having a fundamental, very unique instrument and sound palette that we could play with.